Hey, what's up? This is Liberty, and I wanted to tell you that I found an amazing show that you need to be watching on freaking Netflix. I know you have Netflix, because everybody has Netflix. So I know you have Netflix, and if you do not have Netflix, cancel your cable, cancel anything else that you're doing, and go get some Netflix. I know back in the day it kind of lost popularity, and it's picking up. They have recently launched original programming, which is so fantastic because they're actually spending millions producing original content for Netflix and streaming it as a television network. So it is now okay to be internet famous, I guess. So they are doing some phenomenal things over at Netflix. First, I want to tell you about the show that I recently discovered on Netflix that you need to be watching. If you're not watching it, you gotta be watching it. It is called Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black is about a woman who is kind of a suburban type character, suburban type woman who spends a 15-month prison sentence. Pretty much in jail. Well, not jail, in prison. So she goes to prison for a crime that she committed over 10 years prior, 10 years prior, and pretty much forgot about it and moved on with her life, kind of like anybody would when you commit something, kind of like the crime that she committed was, whatever. But I can tell you that because that's not a spoiler. She had a girlfriend at the time, and she carried a bag of money across an imaginary border that people create. But anyways, she carried a bag of money across the border, and now her girlfriend got busted, or I don't know how the girlfriend got busted. They haven't revealed that or related that to that character yet. So we'll find out. But anyways, when she got busted, she obviously was named for that particular incident and that particular crime. So 10 years later, the FBI and everybody comes searching for her, and they grab her, and now the chick is in prison. So she's in Litchfield, and it just documents what she goes through. Now, this is a regular lady who is in prison for 15 months. And basically, it just documents her transition during that period of what she's going through, what she's doing, and she meets these amazing characters. I love the characters. I have to give props to whoever the writers are for this Netflix original series. The writing is so authentic and so, like, I could see that happening. Like, it's not anything where you go, okay, that was written by people who think that's what it's like to be in prison. It seemed like it seems like their supervising producer is spent some time in prison. I don't know. But yes, that's pretty much what the show is about. And it's a show like Piper Chapman, that's who's the main character. And obviously in prison you don't go by your first name. So when you hear the character Piper, then Piper is actually the first name of the lady who originated the series and who is actually has the story based off of. But Piper is Chapman in prison, so we don't call her Piper, we call her Chapman in prison, which is her name, her last name. So the series is produced by the same people who brought you Weeds, and I've never seen Weeds actually. Like, I haven't seen an episode of that. I don't have cable, so I never really watch that. But anyways, my favorite character, hands down, is, how do you say it? Pennsatucky. Pennsatucky. Yes. Pennsatucky is like the deliverance character for I don't know. Like, that's my favorite character, hands down. After Pennsatucky is Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes or Othello killed me. This woman, let me see who actually plays. I'm just going to look it up real quick to see who plays Crazy Eyes or to see who plays Othello. Because her acting skill is phenomenal. You can just see that she comes from a background she comes from you can tell she comes from a theater background, and the way she brings out the character, it's so much depth in her character. She plays Susie. That's who she plays. She plays Susie, and she just brings out so much depth in there. I don't see who that is right now, but okay, we'll get back to her. Dandelion. We get back to Susie. So, but yeah, it is Taylor Schilling and Jason Biggs. They're ruling it right now. So, yeah, my favorite character is Pennsatucky. So let me see. It's a new series that just launched on Netflix July 11th, and it's actually been produced by Lionsgate. And I was kind of hesitant, honestly, to go into a Netflix series and invest so much time with it because it's an emotional roller coaster. We all know that. It is an emotional roller coaster. So I was hesitant at first, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and do it because I saw on Instagram that somebody really liked it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just see what it is and invest my time in. Yes, it is one of the best series I've seen because I have to have a series to kind of plug and play during the time that Scandal isn't available. So this is the series for me. This is it. Like, this is a series for you too. Watch Orange is the New Black. Also, the reason that I was hesitant is because everyone made such a big deal about House of Cards. Okay, I started to watch it. It seemed overproduced, it didn't seem that believable for me. It didn't seem, I don't know who's in there, Kevin Spacey or something. I didn't like it. It just wasn't, it wasn't ideal for me. I think they spent more on promotion for that particular program versus Orange is the New Black. I think they put a lot behind House of Cards. I think that was like a couple of $1 million production for that one, which is great. I'm sure they're seeing the benefit of that, so great for them. However, maybe I should have watched it before I latched on to Orange is the New Black, because that's just everything. But my tip for Netflix, what I need you to do, I need you to make your site, the UX is no. Like, I'm going to need you to revamp that. So if we can roll out a new user experience and get that under control, that would be great. You're spending millions and millions of dollars on original programming, and you're hiding your programming. If you don't know the names or titles of the original programming, you will not find them. So what you need to do is restructure your landing page and have your original series on your top bar, or a link directly to a list of your scheduling of the original series, a link directing people there. Because once I became a fan of Orange is the New Black, I wanted to see everything that Netflix was producing because I wanted to be a fan of that and, build a relationship and become a part of these characters. So I wanted to do that, but couldn't. I don't know the names of all the shows that they're producing, so you're slipping in that area. On your landing page, please update your UX, because it's just not beneficial for the end user whatsoever. And I contacted a few people on Twitter and Facebook about that, and they were like, you know what? You're right. I don't know how to navigate that on the landing page for Netflix, and it just seemed a bit that I was not alone. So if you could definitely take that and do some of that, that'd be great. Let's see. I know this keeps moving around, but hold on. Let me get you going. Okay, y'all need to see that. Let me get you going here. Yes. So I think, you have to watch Orange is the New Black. You will see a lot of different types of women who are in prison, and it's such an eye-opener for me, because it's not really eye-opener, because I know you don't have to do anything wrong to go to prison. You can just go to prison for being at the wrong place at the wrong time, being Mexican, being black, just existing, and you can be in prison. So one thing that I heard Tim DeChristopher say, Tim DeChristopher is a peace activist, and I saw him on David Letterman not too long ago for his film Bitter 70. So look up Tim DeChristopher. And he had some time in prison as well. And one of my favorite lines that he said was, "It wasn't as bad as I thought." And I was like, Tim DeChristopher, how are you saying that? He's like, you know what? With all of our screwed up laws and just everything being so unjust and unfair for everybody, he's like, normal people are in prison. So it's not as bad as Hollywood would make you think, like, oh, these are hardened criminals. He's like, no, you're in prison with someone who forgot to pay tickets, or someone who can afford to pay tickets. Or he's like, it's just a varying kind of array of crimes that you don't even know are crimes, and you could be in prison. So I just think that was a fantastic insight when he said, you know, it's really not as bad as I thought, because it's regular people. It's just regular people in prison. So I thought that was interesting. And I kind of felt that as well when I got to know the characters. And all of these women, not all of them, but most of them were women who did one thing wrong, who just happened to get caught. Something that probably, it's like running a red light. Not running red light, but let me just use something else. It's kind of like speeding. When you see the speed limit is 30, I don't know anyone who goes 30. You may go 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, but you're not going 30. So imagine if you're that person who went 31 and you're in prison. 32, you're in prison. It's like just like that. But yeah, so anyway, it opens your eyes to a new characters, and not just characters, but because that separates you from it. It opens your mind to life in prison and various ways you can get there. I love the fact that they have various characters ranging in sexuality. One thing that was interesting was I couldn't understand why they kept saying, okay, hang with the white people, hang with the black people, hang with the Mexican people. That was really foreign to me. Like I could kind of grasp everything else. I could not understand that. Maybe because I come from a mixed background. I just could not get that. Like you just have to pick one and stay with them. What the heck? But then one of the characters said, you know what? Just pretend it's 1950 and go on. So I kind of laughed at that. That was funny. But the writing, mwah, the character development, the production, the casting, everything. The show is everything. So Orange is the New Black. It is on when you're on. So whenever you're on Netflix, go to Orange is the New Black. All right. Thanks, guys.